Outside the convenience store, a voice screamed through the glass door. "Owen! Open this door right now!" Owen Carter froze. That voice. Mia. Beside him, Harper Quinn went pale as she realized his ex-wife had spotted them through the window. There was no time to explain, no time to think. Owen pulled Harper close and pressed his lips against hers, just long enough for Mia to see, just long enough to make her believe he had moved on. When he pulled back, Harper stared at him with trembling eyes. Was that kiss only an act, or had something else just begun? 3 years ago, Owen Carter had been working 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. He delivered packages during the day and stocked shelves at night. His wife, Mia, would wait up for him, but not to welcome him home. She would be sitting at the kitchen table with her arms crossed, her face tight with frustration. "How long are we going to live like this?" she would ask him. Owen would tell her it would not be forever. He had ideas. He had plans. He just needed time. But Mia did not want to wait. She wanted a life that looked different than the one they had. She wanted dinners at nice restaurants and vacations that did not involve scraping together spare change. She wanted a husband who came home at a reasonable hour, not one who smelled like cardboard and exhaustion. When their son CJ turned 2, Mia left. She did not take the boy with her. She said she was not ready to be a mother. She said Owen could have him. She said she needed to find herself. Owen did not fight her. He could not afford a lawyer, and he did not have the energy. He just held his son and watched her walk out the door. For the next 3 years, he raised CJ alone. The boy learned to walk while Owen was building spreadsheets on a cracked laptop. He learned to talk while Owen was pitching his logistics startup idea to anyone who would listen. Most people said no. A few said maybe. One person said yes. That one yes turned into a contract. The contract turned into revenue. The revenue turned into growth. 6 months ago, Owen hired his first employee. 3 months ago, he moved into an actual office. Last week, his company hit 7 figures in annual sales. And yesterday, a reporter had written an article about him. The headline read, $1 million startup built by single dad. Owen had not expected the article to go viral. He certainly had not expected Mia to see it. But she did. The messages started arriving that same afternoon. The first one was simple. "Owen, can we talk?" He deleted it. The second one came an hour later. "You've changed so much." He ignored it. By evening, there were 6 more. "I made a mistake. I should have stayed. I left to give you motivation. CJ needs his mother. Please, just hear me out." Owen sat at his desk and stared at his phone. Harper Quinn, his secretary, knocked on the doorframe and stepped inside. She was holding a folder.
"The contracts are ready for you to sign," Harper said.
Owen looked up. Harper had been working for him for 6 months. She was 26, efficient, and the kind of person who remembered details that other people forgot. She had a habit of staying late to help him finish reports. She brought coffee without being asked. She picked up CJ from school when Owen could not get away from meetings. CJ liked her. The boy would light up whenever Harper walked into the office. He would show her his drawings and tell her stories about his day. Harper always listened like it was the most important thing she had ever heard. "Thanks," Owen said, taking the folder from her. He signed the first page without reading it. Harper tilted her head. "Are you okay?" Owen set down his pen. "My ex-wife is texting me." Harper's expression shifted slightly. She did not ask questions. She just nodded and said, "Do you want me to block her number?" Owen smiled despite himself. "I don't think that'll stop her." He was right. The next morning, Mia called. Owen let it go to voicemail. She called again. He declined it. By noon, she had left 3 voice messages. Owen listened to one of them. "Owen, I know you're angry. I don't blame you. But I've had time to think. I was wrong to leave. I was scared and selfish, and I hurt you. I hurt CJ. I want to fix that. I want to be part of his life again. Please, just give me a chance to explain." Owen deleted the message. Harper brought him lunch that afternoon. She set a sandwich on his desk and sat down across from him. "She's not going to stop, is she?" Harper asked quietly. Owen shook his head. "No. She saw the article. She thinks I'm rich now." Harper frowned. "Are you?" "Not the way she thinks." Owen unwrapped the sandwich, but did not take a bite. "The company's doing well, but we're not swimming in cash. Most of it's going back into the business." Harper leaned back in her chair. "So, what are you going to do?" Owen looked at her. "I'm going to tell her to leave me alone." That evening, Owen sent Mia a message. "Meet me at the cafe near my office tomorrow at 3. We'll talk. Once. That's it." She replied immediately. "Thank you. I'll be there." Owen showed the message to Harper the next morning. She was organizing files at her desk when he walked over. "I'm meeting her this afternoon," Owen said. Harper looked up. "Do you want me to come with you?" Owen shook his head. "I'll be fine. I just need to make it clear that she can't keep doing this." Harper nodded, but there was something uncertain in her eyes. "Okay. Just be careful." At 2:45, Owen told Harper he was heading out. She was still at her desk typing. She glanced up and gave him a small smile. "Good luck," she said. Owen grabbed his coat and walked toward the elevator. Just as the doors were about to close, Harper slipped through them. "I forgot," she said quickly. "I need to grab something from the print shop across the street." Owen raised an eyebrow but did not argue. They rode the elevator in silence. When they stepped outside, the air was cold. Owen pulled his coat tighter and started walking toward the cafe. Harper walked beside him, her hands shoved into her jacket pockets. They were halfway across the parking lot when Owen saw her. Mia was standing near the entrance to the convenience store next to the cafe. She was wearing a long coat and heels, her hair styled in a way that looked too perfect for a casual meeting. She was scanning the street, and when her eyes landed on Owen, her face lit up. Then she saw Harper. Mia's expression changed. Her smile faded. Her eyes narrowed. She took a step forward, and then another, and then she was walking straight toward them. "Owen!" Mia called out. Her voice was sharp, cutting through the noise of the street. Owen stopped. Harper stopped beside him. Mia closed the distance between them, her gaze flicking between Owen and Harper. "Who is this?" Mia asked, her tone cold. Owen opened his mouth to respond, but Mia did not wait for an answer. She looked directly at Harper. "You're his secretary, right? I saw your picture on the company website." Harper nodded stiffly. "Yes, I'm Harper Quinn." Mia's lips pressed into a thin line. "I see." Owen could feel the tension rising. Mia was not here to talk. She was here to stake a claim. She was here to remind him that she had been his wife, that she was CJ's mother, that she had a right to be in his life. And then Mia's voice rose, loud enough for people passing by to turn and stare.
Owen! Open this door right now! She was not talking about the cafe. She was talking about the convenience store. She had seen them through the glass, and now she was standing outside, demanding his attention. Owen felt his pulse quicken. He glanced at Harper. Her face had gone pale. She looked like she wanted to disappear. There was no time to think, no time to explain. Mia was watching them, and if Owen walked away now, she would follow him. She would keep showing up. She would keep pushing. So Owen made a decision. He turned to Harper, his hand reaching for her arm. She looked at him with wide, confused eyes. "I'm sorry," Owen said quietly. And then he pulled her close and kissed her. It was not gentle. It was not romantic. It was desperate and hurried, and meant to send a message. Owen could feel Harper go rigid in his arms, her breath catching in her throat. But she did not pull away. When Owen finally let go, he took a step back. Harper was staring at him, her lips parted, shock written across her face. Mia stood frozen. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She looked at Owen, then at Harper, then back at Owen. Her face twisted into something between hurt and anger. "You moved on," Mia said, her voice barely above a whisper. "You actually moved on." Owen did not respond. He just kept his eyes on her, his jaw tight. Mia shook her head slowly. I see how it is." She turned and walked away, her heels clicking against the pavement. Owen watched her go until she disappeared around the corner. Only then did he let out a breath. Harper was still standing beside him, her hand pressed against her chest. Her breathing was uneven. "What was that?" Harper asked, her voice shaking. Owen ran a hand through his hair. "I'm sorry. I didn't know what else to do. She wasn't going to leave unless she thought I'd moved on." Harper stared at him. "So you kissed me?" "Yes." "In front of your ex-wife?" "Yes." Harper let out a shaky laugh. "Owen, you can't just—" "I know," Owen interrupted. "I know. I'm sorry. It won't happen again." Harper looked down at her hands. She was trembling slightly. "It's fine. I wasn't expecting that." Owen took a step closer. "Are you okay?" Harper nodded, but she did not look at him. "Yeah, I'm fine." They stood there for a moment, neither of them speaking. The street around them had returned to normal. People walked past, oblivious to what had just happened. Finally, Harper said, "I should get back to the office." "Harper, it's okay, Owen. Really. I just need a minute." She turned and walked away before he could say anything else. Owen stood there, watching her go. His heart was still pounding. He could still feel the warmth of her lips against his, the way she had tensed in his arms. And he could not shake the feeling that something had just changed, something that could not be undone. Harper did not come back to the office that afternoon. She sent Owen a text around 4 saying she was not feeling well and would work from home. Owen read the message 3 times, then set his phone down without replying. He knew she was not sick. She was avoiding him. The next morning, Harper arrived exactly at 9. She greeted him with a polite nod, set a stack of reports on his desk, and left before he could say anything. Owen watched her through the glass wall of his office. She sat at her desk, her posture stiff, her eyes fixed on her computer screen. By noon, Owen could not take it anymore. He walked out to her desk and stopped in front of her. "Harper, can we talk?" Owen asked. Harper glanced up. Her face was calm,
but her hands were gripping the edge of her desk. About what? About yesterday. Harper looked back at her screen. There's nothing to talk about. You did what you had to do. I understand. Owen frowned. You've barely looked at me all morning. I'm working, Harper said quietly. Owen leaned against her desk. Harper, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have put you in that position. I should have handled it differently. Harper finally met his eyes. It's fine, Owen, really. I just need some time to process it. Process what? Harper's jaw tightened. She did not answer. Owen wanted to press her, but he could see the tension in her shoulders. He straightened up and said, Okay, take your time. But if you need to talk, I'm here. Harper nodded, but she did not say anything else. Owen went back to his office and closed the door. He sat down at his desk and rubbed his temples. He could still feel the ghost of that kiss, the way Harper had frozen in his arms, the way her breath had hitched, and the way she had looked at him afterward, like she did not know who he was anymore. Owen's phone buzzed. He picked it up and saw a message from Mia. I know I said I'd leave you alone, but I need you to understand. I didn't come back because of the money. I came back because I miss you. I miss CJ. I made a mistake, Owen. Please, just let me explain. Owen deleted the message. Then he blocked her number. But Mia did not stop. The next day, an email arrived in Owen's inbox. The subject line read, For CJ. Owen opened it. Owen, I know you're angry with me. I don't blame you. But CJ deserves to know his mother. He deserves to have both parents in his life. I'm not asking you to take me back. I'm just asking for a chance to be part of his life. Please think about it. Owen closed the email without responding. That evening, Owen picked up CJ from school. The boy climbed into the back seat of the car, his backpack slung over one shoulder. He was holding a drawing. Look what I made, Dad, CJ said, holding up the paper. Owen glanced at it in the rearview mirror. It was a picture of 3 people, one tall figure, one smaller figure, and one figure with long hair. Who's that? Owen asked, pointing to the third figure. CJ grinned. That's Miss Harper. She's nice. I like her. Owen felt a tightness in his throat. Yeah, buddy. She is nice. CJ leaned back in his seat. Dad, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you remember Mom? Owen's hands tightened on the steering wheel. Yeah, I remember her. CJ looked out the window. I don't. Not really. Sometimes I think I do, but I'm not sure. Owen did not know what to say. He kept his eyes on the road and tried to think of the right words. Do you think she remembers me? CJ asked quietly. Owen swallowed hard. I think so. CJ nodded, but he did not say anything else. When they got home, Owen made dinner while CJ did his homework at the kitchen table. The boy kept glancing up at Owen, like he wanted to say something, but did not know how. Finally, CJ set down his pencil and said, Dad, if Mom wanted to see me, would you let her? Owen turned off the stove. He walked over to the table and sat down across from his son. Do you want to see her? Owen asked carefully. CJ shrugged. I don't know. Maybe. But I don't want you to be sad. Owen reached across the table and ruffled the boy's hair. I'm not sad, buddy. I just want to make sure you're okay. CJ smiled a little. I'm okay. But Owen could see the uncertainty in his son's eyes. CJ was 5 years old. He did not understand why his mother had left.
He did not understand why she was suddenly trying to come back, and Owen did not know how to explain it to him. The next day, Harper was late. She arrived at 9:15, slightly out of breath. Owen was in a meeting with a client when she slipped into the office. When the meeting ended, Owen found her at her desk typing quickly. "Everything okay?" Owen asked. Harper looked up. "Yeah, sorry I was late. Traffic was bad." Owen nodded, but he did not believe her. Harper was never late. That afternoon, Owen had to leave early to meet with an investor. He asked Harper if she could pick up CJ from school. She agreed without hesitation. When Owen got home that evening, CJ was sitting at the kitchen table with Harper. They were working on a puzzle together. CJ was laughing, his face lit up with excitement. Harper was smiling, though there was something strained around the edges. "Hey," Owen said, setting his briefcase down. CJ looked up. "Dad, Miss Harper helped me finish the puzzle." Owen walked over and looked at the completed puzzle. It was a picture of a dinosaur. "That's great, buddy." Harper stood up. "I should get going." "Stay for dinner," Owen said. Harper shook her head. "I can't. I have plans." Owen frowned. "Plans?" Harper grabbed her coat. "Yeah, thanks for letting me help with CJ. He's a great kid." She left before Owen could say anything else. CJ watched her go, then looked at his father.
"Is Miss Harper okay?"
Owen sat down at the table. "I think so. Why?" CJ shrugged. "She seemed sad." Owen did not respond. He just stared at the closed door. The next morning, Harper arrived on time, but she kept her distance. She answered Owen's questions with short, polite responses. She did not linger at his desk. She did not bring him coffee. Owen tried to focus on work, but he could not stop thinking about her, about the way she had looked at him after the kiss, about the way she was avoiding him now. By mid-afternoon, Owen could not take it anymore. He walked out to Harper's desk and said, "We need to talk." Harper looked up. "I'm in the middle of something." "It can wait." Harper's jaw tightened. "Owen, please, not now." Owen leaned down, his voice low. "Harper, you've been avoiding me for 3 days. If I did something wrong, I need to know." Harper's eyes flashed. "You didn't do anything wrong. You did what you had to do. I'm fine." "You're not fine." Harper stood up, her chair scraping against the floor. "What do you want me to say, Owen? That I'm confused? That I don't know how to act around you anymore? Fine, I'm confused. Is that what you wanted to hear?" Owen stared at her. "Why are you confused?" Harper opened her mouth, then closed it. She looked away. "Forget it. I shouldn't have said anything." She grabbed her bag and walked toward the elevator. Owen followed her. "Harper, wait!" She did not stop. She pressed the button for the elevator and stood there, her arms crossed. Owen stopped beside her. "Talk to me." Harper shook her head. "There's nothing to talk about." The elevator doors opened. Harper stepped inside. Owen followed her. "Harper?" Harper turned to face him, her voice breaking. "You kissed me, Owen, in front of your ex-wife, to make her think you'd moved on. And I went along with it because I didn't know what else to do. But now I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop wondering if it meant something, or if it was just nothing." Owen's breath caught. "Harper." The elevator doors opened. Harper stepped out into the parking garage. Owen followed her to her car. "I don't know what you want me to say," Harper said, her voice shaking. "I work for you. I take care of your son. I stay late to help you with reports.
And now I'm the person you kissed to get rid of your ex-wife. I don't know where I fit in your life anymore." Owen reached for her arm. "Harper, you're not just my secretary, you know that." Harper pulled away. "Do I?" She unlocked her car and got inside. Owen stood there, his hand still outstretched. Harper started the engine and rolled down the window. "I need some space, Owen. Just for a little while." She drove away before he could respond. Owen stood in the parking garage, feeling like the ground had shifted beneath him. He had kissed her to push Mia away, and now he had pushed Harper away too.
When Owen got home that evening, CJ was sitting on the couch watching cartoons. Owen sat down beside him and put his arm around the boy.
Dad, can I ask you something?
CJ said. "Sure, buddy." CJ looked up at him.
Do you like Miss Harper?
Owen's heart skipped a beat. "Of course I like her. She's been really helpful." CJ shook his head.
No, I mean, do you like her?
Owen did not know how to answer that. He stared at the television, his mind racing.
I think you do.
CJ said quietly.
You look at her different.
Owen glanced down at his son. "Where'd you learn that?" CJ shrugged.
I just notice things.
Owen smiled despite himself. "You're too smart for your own good." CJ grinned.
So, do you?
Owen let out a long breath. "Yeah, buddy, I think I do." The next morning, Harper did not come to work. She sent Owen a text saying she was taking a personal day. Owen read the message and felt his stomach drop. He tried to focus on work, but he could not stop thinking about her. About the way she had looked at him in the parking garage. About the way her voice had cracked when she said she needed space. At noon, Owen's phone buzzed. It was an email from an address he did not recognize. He opened it. "Owen, I know you blocked my number, but I need you to listen. I'm not trying to ruin your life. I just want to be part of CJ's life. I made mistakes, but I'm trying to fix them. Please, just give me a chance. If not for me, then for him." Owen deleted the email, but before he could close his laptop, another email arrived. This one had an attachment. Owen opened it. It was a picture of CJ, taken from outside his school. Mia had been there. Owen's blood ran cold. He grabbed his phone and called the school. The principal answered on the third ring. "This is Owen Carter. My son CJ is in kindergarten. Has anyone tried to pick him up today?" The principal's voice was calm. "No, Mr. Carter. CJ is in class right now. Is everything okay?" Owen exhaled. "Yeah, I need to make sure that only authorized people can pick him up. My ex-wife might try to come by." "We'll make a note of it," the principal said. "Don't worry, we won't release him to anyone without your permission." Owen hung up and stared at the picture on his screen. Mia was not going to stop. She was escalating. That afternoon, Owen left work early to pick up CJ himself. When he arrived at the school, he saw Harper standing near the front entrance. She was talking to the principal. Owen walked over. "Harper? What are you doing here?" Harper turned to face him. "I came to pick up CJ. I wanted to make sure he was okay." Owen frowned. "How did you know?" Harper glanced at the principal, then back at Owen. "Mia showed up here this morning. She tried to convince the staff that she had permission to see CJ. I was driving by and saw her. I called the school to make sure they didn't let her in." Owen felt a wave of gratitude wash over him. "You were here?" Harper nodded. "I couldn't just ignore it, Owen. She was standing outside the gate watching the kids.
I stayed until she left." Owen did not know what to say. Harper had taken a personal day because she needed space from him, but she had still shown up to protect his son. "Thank you," Owen said quietly. Harper looked away. "I didn't do it for you. I did it for CJ." Before Owen could respond, CJ came running out of the school building. He saw Harper, and his face lit up. "Miss Harper!" CJ shouted, throwing his arms around her. Harper knelt down and hugged him back. "Hey, buddy, how was school?" CJ pulled back and grinned. "Good! We learned about dinosaurs!" Harper smiled, though her eyes glistened. Owen watched them, his heart aching. When they got back to Owen's car, CJ climbed into the back seat. Harper started to walk toward her own car, but Owen called after her.
"Harper, wait." She turned around. "Can we talk?" Owen asked. "Please." Harper looked at him for a long moment. Then she nodded. "Okay, but not here." They met at a park near Owen's house after he dropped CJ off with a neighbor. Harper was already there when Owen arrived, sitting on a bench near the playground. The sun was starting to set, casting long shadows across the grass. Owen sat down beside her. For a moment, neither of them spoke. "I'm sorry," Owen said finally, "for putting you in this position, for kissing you without asking, for all of it." Harper looked at her hands. "I know you didn't mean anything by it. I know it was just to get rid of Mia." "That's not entirely true," Owen said quietly. Harper turned to look at him. "What do you mean?" Owen took a breath. "I kissed you because I thought it would make Mia leave. But the reason it worked is because part of me wanted to. And I think you felt it too." Harper's cheeks flushed. She looked away. "Owen, I work for you. This is complicated." "I know," Owen said. "But I can't stop thinking about it. About you." Harper stood up. "This is a bad idea. Mia is still out there. She's not going to stop. And if she finds out that that there's something real between us, she'll use it against you." Owen stood up too. "I don't care what Mia does. I care about you. And I care about CJ. And he cares about you too." Harper's voice trembled. "That's what makes this so hard. I care about him too." "But I don't want to be the reason you lose him." Owen reached for her hand. "You're not going to be the reason I lose him. Mia is the one who walked away, not you." Harper pulled her hand back. "You don't know what she's capable of, Owen. She's already showing up at his school. What's next?" Owen's jaw tightened. "I'll handle Mia." "How?" Harper asked, her voice rising. "She's his mother. She has rights. And if she decides to fight you for custody, she could win." Owen shook his head. "She won't win. She abandoned him. She has no case." Harper wiped her eyes. "You don't know that. And I can't watch you go through that. I can't watch CJ go through that." Owen stepped closer. "So what are you saying? You're leaving?" Harper looked at him, torn. "I don't know. I just need time to think." Owen wanted to argue. He wanted to tell her that walking away would not solve anything. But he could see the fear in her eyes, the uncertainty. "Okay," Owen said quietly. "Take the time you need, but don't shut me out. Please." Harper nodded, but she did not say anything else. She turned and walked toward her car. Owen watched her go, his chest aching. Over the next 3 days, Harper came to work, but she kept her distance. She answered Owen's questions. She completed her tasks. But there was a wall between them that had not been there before. Mia, meanwhile, continued her campaign. She sent emails to Owen's business partners, introducing herself as his ex-wife and hinting that they were working on reconciling. She sent gifts to the office with notes that said, "For CJ, with love from Mom." She even called Owen's investors, asking about the company's growth and mentioning how proud she was of him. Owen tried to ignore it, but the damage was already being done. One of his investors called him directly on Thursday afternoon. "Owen, I heard your ex-wife reached out. She seems like a nice woman. I didn't realize you two were working things out." Owen gripped the phone. "We're not working things out. She left me 3 years ago. She's trying to insert herself back into my life now that the company is doing well." The investor's tone shifted. "I see. Well, I hope you handle that carefully. Family matters can affect business, you know." Owen hung up and slammed his hand on the desk. Harper looked up from her computer, startled. "What happened?" Harper asked. Owen ran a hand through his hair. "Mia is spreading rumors. She's telling people we're getting back together." Harper stood up and walked into his office. She closed the door behind her. "Owen, you need to stop this. You need to confront her directly." Owen looked at her. "I've tried. She doesn't listen." Harper crossed her arms. "Then make her listen. Get a lawyer if you have to. Document everything. Show people what she's really doing." Owen leaned back in his chair.
And what if she decides to go after custody? What if she drags CJ into this? Harper's expression softened.
Then you fight. You fight for him. Because he needs you. And he needs someone who actually cares about him, not someone who's just trying to use him.
Owen stared at her. "Is that what you think I should do?"
Harper nodded.
Yes. And I'll help you, if you want me to.
Owen felt something loosen inside his chest.
"You will?"
Harper sat down across from him.
I told you before. I care about CJ, and I care about you. I'm not walking away. Not unless you want me to.
Owen reached across the desk and took her hand.
"I don't want you to."
Harper squeezed his hand, then let go.
Then let's figure this out. Together.
That evening, Owen called a lawyer. He explained the situation. The lawyer listened carefully, then asked Owen to send over any documentation he had. Emails, text messages, photos, anything that showed Mia's behavior. Owen spent the next 2 days compiling everything. Harper helped him organize it. They printed out emails. They made a timeline of Mia's actions. They gathered statements from the school principal and from neighbors who had seen Mia lingering near Owen's house. When they were finished, Owen sent everything to the lawyer. The lawyer called back the next day. "This is good, Owen. You have a strong case. If she tries to go after custody, you'll be able to show that she abandoned CJ and is only coming back now for selfish reasons." Owen exhaled.
"So what do I do next?" The lawyer's voice was calm. "You confront her. You tell her that if she doesn't stop, you'll take legal action. And you make it clear that you have documentation of everything she's done." Owen agreed. He set up a meeting with Mia for the following afternoon. He asked the lawyer to be present. He also asked Harper to come. Harper hesitated. "Are you sure you want me there?" Owen nodded. "I need you there, for moral support if nothing else." Harper agreed. The meeting took place at a small conference room in the lawyer's office on Tuesday afternoon. Mia arrived 10 minutes late, wearing a tailored dress and heels. She smiled when she saw Owen, but her smile faded when she saw Harper. "What is she doing here?" Mia asked, her voice sharp. Owen gestured to the empty chair. "Sit down, Mia."
Mia sat, her eyes flicking between Owen, Harper, and the lawyer. The lawyer introduced himself, then opened a folder. Ms. Mia, we're here today because you've been making repeated attempts to contact Mr. Carter and insert yourself into his life and the life of his son. We have documentation of your behavior, including emails, text messages, and witness statements. Mia's face flushed. I'm his mother. I have a right to see him. Owen leaned forward. You gave up that right when you walked out 3 years ago. You didn't call. You didn't visit. You didn't send a single birthday card. And now that you've seen I'm doing well, you want back in. Mia's eyes flashed.
That's not fair, Owen. I made a mistake. I was young. I was scared.
Owen's voice was cold.
You were 25. You were old enough to know what you were doing.
Mia looked at Harper.
And what about her? Is she the reason you won't give me a chance?
Harper met her gaze.
I'm not the reason. You are.
Mia's jaw tightened.
You think you can replace me? You think CJ will ever see you as his mother?
Harper's voice was steady.
I don't want to replace you, but I do want to be there for him. Because someone has to be.
Mia stood up, her chair scraping against the floor.
This is ridiculous. I'm not going to sit here and be lectured by a secretary.
The lawyer cleared his throat. Ms. Mia, if you continue to contact Mr. Carter or show up at his son's school without permission, we will pursue legal action. This includes a restraining order if necessary. Mia's face went red.
You can't do that.
The lawyer opened the folder and pulled out a stack of papers. These are copies of your emails and text messages. This is a statement from the school principal. This is a photo you sent of CJ, taken without Mr. Carter's knowledge. If you continue, we will file a formal complaint. Mia stared at the papers, her hands shaking. She looked at Owen.
Is this really what you want? To cut me out completely?
Owen's voice was quiet.
I want you to leave us alone. If you genuinely want to be part of CJ's life someday, we can talk about it. But not like this. Not by manipulating people and spreading lies.
Mia stood silent for a long moment. Then she grabbed her purse.
Fine, I'll go.
She walked toward the door, then stopped and turned back. Her voice was quieter now, almost defeated.
I know you won't believe this, but I really did think I was doing the right thing back then, leaving. I thought you'd be better off without me dragging you down.
Owen met her eyes.
You were wrong. Mia nodded slowly.
Yeah, I was.
She left, closing the door softly behind her. The lawyer looked at Owen. That went better than expected. She knows she doesn't have a leg to stand on. I doubt she'll contact you again, but if she does, let me know immediately. Owen nodded. He felt exhausted, relieved, and uncertain all at once. Harper stood up and placed a hand on his shoulder.
You did the right thing.
Owen looked up at her.
Did I?
Harper smiled.
Yes, you protected CJ. That's what matters.
Over the next week, Mia did not contact Owen. There were no emails, no phone calls, no surprise visits. Owen checked with the school every day, and the principal confirmed that Mia had not been back. Slowly, things began to return to normal. Owen focused on work. Harper stayed by his side, helping him catch up on the projects that had fallen behind. The tension between them began to ease. CJ seemed happier. He stopped asking about his mother. He drew more pictures of Owen and Harper.
He started calling Harper by her first name instead of Miss Harper. One evening, Owen picked up CJ from school and found the boy holding a new drawing. It was a picture of 3 people standing in front of a house. 1 tall figure, 1 small figure, and 1 figure with long hair. "Who's that?" Owen asked, pointing to the figure with long hair. CJ grinned. "That's Harper. She's part of our family now, right?" Owen's throat tightened. "What makes you say that?" CJ shrugged. "Because she's always here. And she helps us. And you smile when she's around." Owen looked at his son. "You're pretty observant, you know that?" CJ nodded. "I know." That night, after CJ went to bed, Owen called Harper. She answered on the second ring. "Hey," Harper said. "Is everything okay?" Owen looked at the drawings CJ had left on the kitchen table. "Yeah, I just wanted to talk." Harper's voice was soft. "About what?" Owen took a breath. "About us. About what happens next." There was a long silence on the other end of the line. "Owen," Harper said finally, "I don't know what happens next. I just know that I don't want to lose what we have." Owen smiled. "Neither do I." Harper let out a small laugh. "So, where does that leave us?" Owen thought about it. "I think it leaves us figuring it out as we go." Harper was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "I can live with that." Owen hung up and stared at the drawing. CJ had drawn a family. Not the family Owen had planned on. Not the family he thought he would have, but a family nonetheless. The next evening, Owen invited Harper over for dinner. CJ was thrilled. He helped Owen set the table and insisted on making a sign that said, "Welcome Harper," in crayon. When Harper arrived, CJ ran to the door and threw his arms around her. Harper laughed and hugged him back. "Hey, buddy," Harper said. "What's all this?" CJ grabbed her hand and pulled her inside. "We made dinner, and I made you a sign." Harper looked at the sign and smiled. "It's perfect." They ate together at the kitchen table. CJ talked about his day at school. Harper listened, her eyes warm. Owen watched them, his heart full. After dinner, CJ went to bed. Owen and Harper sat on the couch, the house quiet around them. "Thank you for coming," Owen said. Harper looked at him. "Thank you for inviting me." Owen reached for her hand. "Harper, I know this is complicated. I know there's still a lot we need to figure out. But I want you to know that you're important to me, to both of us." Harper's voice was soft. "You're important to me, too." Owen leaned closer. "So what do we do now?" Harper smiled. "I think we start by being honest. About what we want. About what this is." Owen nodded. "Okay, I'll start. I want you in my life. Not just as my secretary, not just as someone who helps with CJ. I want you here, with us." Harper's breath caught. "Owen." Owen cupped her face with his hand. "You don't have to answer right now. But I need you to know that the kiss outside that convenience store wasn't just an act. Not for me." Harper searched his eyes. "It wasn't just an act for me either." Owen smiled. "Good." He leaned in slowly, giving her time to pull away. But she did not pull away. She leaned in too, closing the space between them. This time when their lips met, it was not desperate. It was not rushed. It was soft and warm and real. When they pulled apart, Harper rested her forehead against his. "What happens now?" Harper whispered. Owen smiled. Now we see where this goes. Harper laughed softly.
I can live with that.
They sat together in the quiet, the future uncertain, but no longer frightening. Outside, the city lights flickered. Inside, something new was beginning.